Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Sorry that this took so long to upload. I have been relatively busy, and then we had an event at work that I had to work an extra day for and didn't get the day off for, so my slime mega video that I originally wanted to upload at the beginning of slime event never happened, but I guess better late than never. So in this video we're going to be going over the first part of the new slime unit. So I guess you could call this part 2, just because we got basically everything else in part 1 up to the old ascended units, and then this is part 2. We're going to get 2 new units with this: Demon Lord Rimuru samurai form, and then Shuna. And then part 3 we'll be covering probably a day or two before that comes out as well. We're going to be going kind of over everything, or at least mostly everything in this, so hope you enjoy the video. Let's get started. So obviously, first things first is the login bonuses. We are getting 2 new login bonuses with this part 2, and they each feature 7 crossover tickets, 7 unit tickets, and then 7 equip tickets, for a total of 14 tickets between both of the login bonuses. So those are those. And then the units, moving on to the units. So we have Demon Lord Samurai Rimuru. He has a 6-star physical, a 5-star support, and then a 5-star heal that can be limit broke into a 5-star magic. His skill is a 14-second cooldown and does 4,500 dark damage physical, and then increases own arts by 20 times the number of demon allies alive in the party, or a max of 80. So he's really going to want to be on mono demon, probably mono dark demon, or mono demon dark, however you want to say it. His arts does 25,000% dark damage physical, and then for 30 seconds increases all allies max HP by 30%. So this is basically just a pseudo heal. And then additionally increases all allies next super art damage by 150%. So it doesn't say for any specific duration, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be a permanent thing until everyone uses their super arts, and then you'll probably have to use this art again if you want them to get that damage buff. Is it something that you probably want to use? Honestly, no. I mean, if you can get it off before everyone spams their super arts, then sure. But you're better off probably using his actual super arts, because he's more of a damage rather than a support. His true arts does 66,000% dark damage physical, excuse me, for 20 seconds increases people above 50% HP's arts by 6 a second, and reduces enemies' physical resistance by 100%. Note, this unit's arch gem is type F and will not stack with other type F artgen. His super arts does 180,000% dark damage physical, but increases the damage multiplier of the super arts by 40,000 for each ally above 80% HP, for a total of an additional 160,000% damage. So basically you can have this guy do 340,000% dark damage physical. The only downside to Samurai Rimuru is he has no innate crit, and he has no innate damage ignore. So you're going to have to have someone on the team that can either buff him up with a crit, or that can buff him up with a damage ignore. Otherwise, he's still going to hit pretty hard, but he's not going to hit nearly as hard as some of these other units, like the original Demon Lord Rimuru. So I'd say you're going to need to especially bring some sort of crit buffer. I think the easiest is if you use his 5-star slot for true EX gate, considering his true weapon goes into his physical slot, which is just lucky. But if you do true EX gate, which you can get in the new updated unit of choice ticket as a true weapon now, so anyone can pick that up, so there's no reason to say I don't have it. And you just slap him on it, and it gives him crit 100% up for 10 seconds, and then also gives him massive single arch gen, so you can get his super art pretty quickly while also giving him crit. So that's probably a equip that I think would be most of the time a must-have on him. And then his passives, when he is the leader at the start of the quest, increases all allies' damage resistance by 20% for 70 seconds, and then it doesn't stack with the abilities of the same name, obviously. Increases own status res by 50%, and then increases own lifesteal res by 20%. So that's Demon Lord Rimuru. He's pretty damn good. He's probably, again, as usual, the best unit out of all of the units in the pool. But he does need a tiny bit of help to make him shine the brightest that he can shine. But overall, I'd say a solid 8 out of 10 unit. Really, really good. Next is Shuna. She is a light demon unit, and she has a 6-star sport slot, a 5-star heal slot, and then a 4-star magic slot that can be turned into a 4-star sport slot. Her skill is on a 15-second cooldown, and it draws at random fortune, good luck, great luck, or incredible luck. And then based on the fortune drawn, increases her own arts by 40, 45, or 50 respectively. Her normal arts heals all allies HP by 50% of their max HP, and then for 15 seconds increases all allies' dark resistance by 20%. Honestly, her arts is not gonna lie, it's kind of underwhelming for an arts, especially on an ascended unit. I mean, Valentine's Day Priscilla does something very similar, except I think hers is a little better because she cleanses on her arts instead of increases everyone's resistance by 20%. So, it's not horrible, but it's also not really great. Her true arts does 50,000% light damage magical, and then cures all allies' status ailments except for faint, so a cleanse. And then for 25 seconds, increases all allies' arts by 5 a second, and then demon allies' arts by an additional 1 per second. Note, this arch gen type is type E and will not stack with other type E arch gens. The fact that she's a type E arch gen kind of makes her borderline useless. It just kind of sucks because Valentine's Day Priscilla isn't type E, so she stacks with like units like Hoka, and then her normal arts is basically Shuna's arts and true arts like by itself without like the arch gen. So I don't know, Shuna, I don't know, she's turning out to be kind of not like a super great unit, but I mean, I'm still probably gonna try to grab her anyways. Her super arts does 130,000% light damage magical, and then revives one fallen ally with 100% of their max HP, and this effect can happen every 60 seconds. And then for 30 seconds, reduce enemies' magic resistance by 150%. So her super arts is also kind of very underwhelming. I like the idea of having like revives built into the kit, but I'd much rather them be passives like Thetis. Thetis has a revival passive, so if someone on the team dies, that's not him, his passive kicks in and they revive with 50% of their HP. And then I wish it was like, if it's going to be like something that you can trigger, I wish it gave like a token on an ally instead of like trying to revive someone, because if you are reviving a fallen ally with her super arts, more than likely you're on a downhill slope to lose the fight anyways. So reviving that fallen ally most of the time doesn't mean anything. And then the fact that like you have to like actively use your super arts now if an ally falls instead of just having a token get put on them like Blessed Necklace, I don't know. Her super arts is just kind of meh to me, to be honest. Her as a unit as a whole is kind of meh to me. So Demon Lord Rimuru definitely takes the cake on like the better of the two units, and Shuna unfortunately takes the cake on being probably the worst ascended unit out of the slime bunch. And yes, that does include the old ones too. Yes, she is worse than Combat Form of Limb. And that's kind of saying something because combat form of limb kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. I mean, I don't want her to suck, but she kind of just does. But anyways, mini rant over. Her passives, when unaffected by status ailment, increases own arts by 3 per second, and then heal equip CT by 30%, and then increases her own paralysis and freeze resistance by 100%. Overall, not a great unit, but if you're a collector or you're like me who's obsessed with slime, then you're probably going to get her anyways. And I'm also a person who loves like niche units that aren't good or aren't considered good. So I definitely am attracted to a Shuna in this way, because she's just like a unit that most people would say is garbage, and I like using garbage units. I don't know why. All right, so on to some of the summonable equips. I just kind of pulled some of the notable equips from this next part that you can summon on the equip banner. First one is Shuna's accessory. So this is a heal, 5-star heal equip, and then has a 50-second cooldown, heals all allies HP, all light allies HP, excuse me, by 300 per second for 20 seconds. And then additionally, when used for the first time, increases the leader's arts by 50. That's the reason why this equip is on notable equips, because if you're nuking and you happen to be using a unit that has a 5-star heal slot, like Lord Rimuru or Shuna, then you can slap this on there, and then whoever is your nuker, you just set as your leader, and then they get an additional 50 arts just from a heal equip. That's pretty good, not gonna lie. Next is Lord Rimuru's katana, or Hakamata, sorry. I said katana, lol. Lord Rimuru's Hakamata. This has a 30-second cooldown. It is a support, 5-star support. It increases all allies' arts by 2 per second, and then all allies attack by 20%, and then dark allies attack by an additional 20% for 15 seconds. So the reason why this is a notable equip, on its own, it doesn't sound very good, but if you're using it on a mono dark demon team, then you're increasing all allies' arts by 2 a second, and then also increases their attack by 40%, which is pretty good on a support equip, not gonna lie. So it deserves to be on the mentionable equips here. All right, last, Lord Rimuru's katana. This is his actual katana. So this is gonna be one of those equips where this is better than his true weapon counterpart, just because the physical resistance down is 60 instead of 50% if you equip it on a demon. So the full thing is, it's a 5-star physical equip, has a 70-second cooldown, does 8,000% dark damage physical, and then reduces enemies' physical resistance by 40% for 10 seconds, and if the user is demon, reduces the enemy's physical resistance by 60% instead. So overall, this is just a better version of Lord Samurai Rimuru's true weapon. Last and not least, the farmable equip for this upcoming event is going to be a 4-star support. It's the Rimuru slime plushie. It has a 45-second cooldown, increases all allies' arts by 1 a second, and water allies' skill CT speed by 50% for 20 seconds, and then increases own skill damage by 10% is the passive on it. So obviously you just get at least 1 or 2 of these as a copy is what I always recommend, and you just get this for free as a farmable equip. So there's no like, should you get it, should you not get it, just get it. All right, and that kind of goes over everything for this next upcoming part. So part 2, I think, is what I'm calling it. If you guys enjoyed this video and you made it this far, please leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching this far to begin with. And without further ado, I will see you all in the next video. Later.